Good morning, everyone. So I hope you guys are staying well. So let's have the last presentation. So our team number is number 4, and our team name is 4everWIN. And in this team, I have me here, and we have Samuel, we have Peter, and Noah. So let's start with the presentation. So our topic is about monitoring a 5G network. So the outline of this presentation, I will divide it into 5 main sections. First, I will walk you through the introduction. Then I give you the solution of the product, make a demo, and then I will discuss about the business potentials of the product, and finally the conclusion. Now let's start with the introduction. So I would like to start with the code with Ericsson. Like 5G isn't just a new generation of mobile networks. It's transforming the world as we know it. And the advantages of using 5G is that it helps providing greater bandwidth, give faster connection with lower latency, higher download, and higher performance. So what is the main aim and objectives of our project? The aim of our project is to develop a web application to monitor and analyze the performance of the 5G network. So we try to monitor the network connection using different metrics like throughput, latency, etc. So let's discuss about the product. So this is a snapshot of our front end. In here the user can see a lot of different metrics of monitoring the network. For example, the server IP address, the server location, the ping, the throughput, the upload speed, downloading speed, and over there is the min and the max. When we click on, for example, ping, the maximum ping, the minimum ping, and the standard deviation. The standard deviation is to see how much fluctuate of the data. And in here we provide a chart that provides the real-time data that can take the data every second. So we also provide all the metrics. For example, jitter and bucket plots. And finally, we try to combine all of these metrics into a performance index. We categorized the performance of the network into five levels: unsatisfactory, poor, fair, good, and excellent. And based on different levels of the performance of the network, we give relevant recommendations. So what are the technologies we are using? We use, for the back end, we use Python and Flask. For the front end, we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The application architecture is like this. So when the client connect to the router and access the internet, it tries to ping, and it will find the lowest latency server to test for the upload for all the metrics. And we use a speed test library. So why we use a speed test library? Because it's fast. Because they use multi-threaded service, so it's very fast for monitoring system. It is optimized, and it can deliver a very quick response. It is user-friendly. It's an open source, so our project can be an open source product, and it can be used in and integrated in different third-party companies considered our customers. And it's reliable because it's developed in the system that it can be available at on time. So let's start with the demo. Okay, so now we are testing in here because I'm using a 4G network. So let's test in the 5G network. I'm using another laptop for this. Thank you for your patience. So here, this is a very user-friendly front end that we made. And here, we try to make a UI concept like monitoring your 5G network under a button. So here, just main thing, just click on the button and you will see on things, analytics. And when you click, you can show like different. The Wi-Fi is broken. Sorry for the technical issue for the Wi-Fi. So normally it will show the server IP address, the testing time, the server location, and also in here we have ping average ping time, ping latency, the upload speed and downloading speed. When we click on this, okay, we can see the max, the mean uploading speed, the max uploading speed, and also we see the standard deviation. It's the same for download and upload. And here we provide like jitter information. Like in here we currently have 3 milliseconds for jitter, and we have no packet loss. So for the evaluation, so we currently the network is good, classified as good. It has a little distortion, and this might perceive loss, but user experience is not affected. And based on that, we give some recommendations based on our research. It's actually the use cases how we can use this performance depend on the level of the performance of the network. We can use in different use cases and what we can expect when using the network. Okay, now let's get back with the presentation. Sorry. So that is the demo. So let's talk about the business potential of the product. So what are the strengths of our product? Our strength is that we have a very user-friendly UI UX, as you guys said, I guys see. So it's like the simplicity and simple and straightforward. We also like use a lot of informative different metrics. Not only because for all the competitors, they only show the ping, the average speed, and the average uploading downloading speed. We also prefer all the metrics like the max, the latency, the standard deviation, the jitter, mode, and all of that. And we also give the analytics of the data. We also give the performance index so that when we have a general view of the maximum case we can handle for the network. For example, when I use this network number 1, and I'm monitoring, okay, this performance good. And when I use another network, I test again, but for the better. So we can see evaluate different networks together and use different use cases. And this is scalable. And this product can be used for testing in any network. So it can be scaled for a further network like 5G, if we can use 6G, 7G, we can still using the product. Or we can still, for the low network product like 3G, 4G, we can still use that. The weaknesses we experiencing when we implement this project is that we have an end device issue because we don't have the device that supports 5G compatibility. So the internet, the 5G internet we get is like it's expected to have like 10 gigabits per second maximum, but we only achieve like 1.2 to 1.4 megabits per second. And the average speed getting is only 300 megabytes per second, megabits per second. So what are the customer segments we are focusing on? First, we focus on the individuals. So it can use as an individual use. We can be like, so the user can access everywhere. And we consult, our customer can be industry partners, companies, institutions, and they can use our device to monitor multiple devices in a very decentralized app. we can develop further for that. The opportunity is that we have a large amount of data records, and it can be used for research. And we also can also create alert notification if any network downtime potential detected. About the investing, so our goal is like to provide service across different companies, institutions, and countries around the world. We try to collaborate and partnering with different universities, companies, so to have a higher chance of volatility to grow fast. For the investment, right now, what's the minimum we require is like 10,000 crowns, and the maximum like 500,000 crowns. For the share price, we have 20 crowns per product. So what about the risk analysis? Because there are a lot of competitions out there. We have big companies such as Speedtest and Fast already having a leading high-level technology. However, we have our outstanding strengths. We have UIX friendly strength. That's the first strength. The second strength, we have different strategy with different metrics. Third, another strength, we can use different analytics. And the fourth strength, we have the index, so it can get the overview and we can classify the network. And the technology race, with the being developing of the technology, we have to adapt with the new technology if available. And we have to have reliable devices like end devices, servers, network connections need to support 5G. So let's talk about the future work and the potential of the project. So the future work is that is can try to make work in different platforms. So the application can use in different platforms. It can provide AI and machine learning analytics. Like we can use further using AI and machine learning if we have a lot of data. And we can make network orchestration and support the network device using a decentralized app. And right now we're only testing using only on one network. So in the further work, we can testing in different networks at the same time on one application. And that's for the multi-device monitoring. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, is there any questions? Thank you.
I want to know, like, where you are testing the speed, on the server side or on the client side?
So yeah, the testing speed is on the server, the client side. However, you know, like we cannot. What is it? We just use a library from the server side and then doing the testing. So we need for testing we need to pick what is it? A reliable server, of course, like to upload and download. So if the server is like too far or have a really too high latency, then the measurement is not.
Not that server, your web server. So where are you measuring the speed test at your server or
Yes, at our server.
at the server side, right?
Yeah.
So like how did you deal with the mobility issue? Let's say I want to use your application. How can I use your application? I don't have the server, I have the client.
Yeah,
But my laptop supports like 5G, let's say.
So we're measuring upload speed and download speed, the network performance, right? So when we're measuring download speed, the client download speed has to be measured against something. In this case, it is a server. So what our speed test library does, it has several servers around the world. Find the server with the lowest latency to measure the maximum performance of our network. So when it finds the server, it uploads and downloads data to that server. Then it measures according to the upload and download, measures the specific speed of uploading, thereby getting
As I understand, you use speed test library at the server side, right?
The speed test library, it's a library.
It's library, but
servers.
use that library with your Flask server. So
Yeah, we have, and our application is a server. But the speed test library is a library and it has several servers. The library checks this particular speed against its own servers. Maybe you got
questioning-
confused with
yeah,
You're questioning about the
my
mobility,
simple
right?
question
Yeah.
is like, I have the 5G model
Yes.
on my laptop. How can I measure?
For example, let me give you an example. If you go to speedtest.net, you check your own network performance, right? You're using the same kind of library from that website.
Okay.
You used it before.
Thank you.
So, well, yeah, it was kind of the same question, like against what you were like thinking and everything. But now it's like, so there, you're using like one device to, is that one to measure? Or you're like connected to that device and you are measuring your speed against that one? Or are you like measuring the device itself? Like if I open that website, could I be able to measure like the speed on my device? Or it's only the device that is running the algorithm?
Okay, this device has the 5G. So that is why we're using it. So if you want to know your own device, you just like connect if you have 5G because and it's scalable, so you can use other network 4G. So you can just like go to the website and just click on it and it will connect to the connectivity.
The data that you have there is the 5G speed?
Yeah, for the data, you have 5G.
I mean, if you test, you can try it yourself. If you test using 4G, average will be like 10 megabits, 10 megabits. But here we're able to achieve like even 800
laptop, so
megabits.
using this Wi-Fi. So this is the performance of this laptop.
Yeah,
And also,
this is 4G, right?
Yeah.
So
That's not for the
Let's-
5G.
this one is, I think you.
Yeah, this one
it's just-
only for laptop. The one I demoed, that's same laptop using 5G.
Jack using 4G to show like the huge difference between.
This is
Yeah.
just to show you that.
Yes.
Last question. Who is your main target user?
Really big question.
I mean, like regular people or like technical,
Yeah.
mobile operator?
Yeah, we already talked about the customer segments. We have two major customers, the individuals and the partners. They are companies,
Yeah.
institutions. Yeah.
Since
Like
our
it's
product is
technical,
user friendly
like
and it has indexing, everybody can use it. It's
Yeah.
user friendly, so non-technical users can use it to measure their networks, and it has analytics at some level. But in the future, we can implement AI and machine learning technologies. So it has some kind of analytics, technical analytics as well.
If I'm allowed to add little things, so we need to differentiate, like you said, which one are focus,
Yeah.
consumer, right? For this one, this level of this is just for individual. That's why we put it in the future works, because for developer they want like much more details,
Yeah.
like topics, like the loss, percentage, and everything. Then we need to take step further than this.
Yeah. Yeah, my recommendation would be like you can put like navigation bar or something like developer mode or just user mode.
Yes, exactly.
And
We also
in the
think that way,
developer
but
mode, like you
2
can
days
use,
is
like,
not enough,
more-
brother, to make a industry level.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, we have exclusive access to our data. Like, for example, how many kilometers our server is located. We have really good access to the specifications. But this is for the demo only. We have included what we prefer to include.
I mean, we have like using the library, we have like all the data, but we don't want to throw like everything on you.
Yeah.
And you will like, what is this? Like, I don't understand anything. But thank you very much.
And that's what actually we aim for.
Okay. No more questions. So thank you very much.
Right.